think I can sum up the show for you with one word. Nothing. Nothing? Nothing.
Everybody's doing something. We'll do nothing. I still don't know what the idea is.
This is the show, and we're not going to change it.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of This is the Show, episode 55. I'm one of your hosts, Alex Webb.
Casey McGowan. Happy Friday, folks. Welcome back. Sorry about last week with the 40-minute episode. How about this? We subscribed to Zoom. We paid for it. So we're paying to put this podcast out into your YouTube. So you better be watching. Email us. This is the show 69.
Leave Spotify. Go watch this on YouTube because now, for real, we're paying for it. And I'm not talking ads. I'm talking this call is costing money. Now, yeah. So if you also run a podcast and you record video through Zoom and then you publish to an average of 3 to 5 viewers, just keep in mind,
bro.
Just keep in mind, hey, those are public metrics. Just keep in mind, Zoom meetings, they used to have the rule 3 to 100 people. You could only do a 40-minute meeting. 1 to 2 people, AKA this podcast, you could do unlimited minutes. Now they got the 40-minute block on. They as early as last week. But so anyways, we're here because here's the thing. Casey and I, we could do a 40-minute cast, but we don't pick up steam until that 30-minute mark.
That's the thing. We're a halfway through cast. You got to sit through the bullshit of the first 30 minutes. You get to minute 38. We're really cooking with gas then, you know?
Yeah. 100%.
That's when the magic happens. So you can't cut us off then.
Yeah.
That's the whole show.
So anyways, we got that figured out.
Yeah. Start slow.
Yeah. We talk about the weather for 20 minutes, you know? And then
Speaking
I have
which,
an anecdote. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hit me.
It's nice out today. This is 70, sunny in New York. It's great. 70
nice.
and sunny, bad allergies, but you put up with the allergies. We got a little bit of a spring cooking this week. I've been playing basketball every morning.
Wow.
I'm Summer Casey. He's coming back slowly but surely.
He is back. I love that it started out as what we thought was going to be just like last summer was the summer of Casey. And that was going to be it. But we're at a real resurgence here for round 2 of Summer of Casey. You know, you got the swim shorts on?
No.
It's not that warm yet.
Not that warm yet. The swim shorts are coming in June. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned for June. June is going to have big swim short Casey bathing suit doing the cast energy. No socks.
The thing I love most about the whole swimsuit thing is, one, it's a swimsuit, and that's a whole other thing. I was wearing a swimsuit the other day, and I had the mesh, like the mesh pouch. If you're not a guy, you might not know that inside swim trunks there's this mesh lining, and it's the most uncomfortable thing I've ever experienced next to my genitals. And it's awful. It's horrendous. It's just like a little cheese grater pressed up against you 24/7. And so I'm swimming around in it. I'm lounging on the patio, just chilling. Not my house, at my in-laws' place. I'm sitting there in my swim trunks. I'm like, I can't believe Casey just lounges in this mesh lining, just days at a time, chafing and having no problems. And then I got to thinking, so you're wearing a swimsuit, and I love that. Not right now, but in general, you know, you
Summer
rock the
Casey's
suit.
he's wearing a bathing suit.
He's rocking the suit, and it got me thinking. I love that it's not like palm trees and flamingos or beer cans all over they're just like navy shorts. Like it's just got 4 pockets on them. You could never tell they were swim trunks. It's like, just wear shorts, but it's the spirit of the trunks.
Hold on. I'm getting
He's reaching for the trunks.
Hold on. I got to take the headphones out. 1 second.
It cracks me up, and I hope, he's going to show him. He's got 4 pockets. They have back pockets. Do those have back pockets?
There they are, folks.
Do those have back pockets?
Let me check. Yeah.
Oh my
with
God.
with buttons, with buttons, so I can keep the wallet in it.
My guy's got the cargo
Only-
swim
here's-
shorts.
Here's the thing: only one back pocket though. Only one.
Oh, for the wallet.
Yeah. Oh, here's that. Here's that lining. Alex is talking.
Brutal.
There's
Those
that
are
lining.
what I'll say though. I got like $15.
Like that?
Well, I was gonna say I got the $15 Target trunks. You've at least got the comfy Patagonia, what those run you? $40?
I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. I got it 2 summers ago.
Well, be that as it may, I love it. The spirit of Summer Casey winding up. We're just kind of in the appetizer right now. But
It's also
but you get there.
it's also a certain look of the guy who's wearing a bathing suit with a t-shirt just at home. It's different at home. A bathing suit at the beach is
Yeah.
fine. And like I'll like walk around the neighborhood in that bathing suit with like, the what are those called? The slip-on Vans. You remember the pizza shoes I have? The red and white ones? I wear
Come on,
those.
bro. Those are my house shoes. I don't wear these out. I wear these in the house.
Well, I'll wear those, but red and out with a bathing suit and a t-shirt. I got the wallet in the back pocket. And that's the thing when it's a bathing suit. So I got the keys and the phone. They look huge. They look
Oh.
huge in the bathing suit.
The big bulge.
So when I'm walking, it's making like a a sound as I'm walking around. It's great.
Unreal.
It's good stuff. Wear a bathing suit this summer, folks. If you're just lounging at home, write in. This is the show 69@gmail.com. Put the suit on, guy or girl. Live it up. Be at
Throw
the
it on.
beach.
Be at the beach 24/7. The
Yeah.
guy that doesn't want to get noticed. Okay. The guy that doesn't want to be noticed is walking around Queens in swim trunks and bright red shoes. But don't look at him.
But that's the thing. People see that guy and they're like, I'm not even. That guy's worse off than I am. That guy's that's yeah. It's how it started. You know how it really started. It started last summer because I normally when I'm home, it's so hot in New York that I only wear basketball shorts or whatever, just shorts. I just wear athletic shorts, basketball shorts normally
Yeah.
around the house in the neighborhood. One day I had played basketball in my basketball shorts. Like both pairs were dirty that I had, or 3 pairs of them were all dirty. And the only thing I had was the bathing suit. I didn't want to do just laundry to wash those. So I put the bathing suit on for the day. And then I was like, you know what? I like this. This feels good. Bro, not only would you're talking about sitting at your in-laws house, like in the bathing suit, bro, I'll sleep in that bathing suit.
No, that's
yeah.
too far.
No, I will. I'll sleep in it. I
Oh,
don't care.
no.
I'll sleep in that bathing suit, bro. I don't give a fuck.
I love that for you.
It's a good time, that virgin pina colada. But that's the thing. We're not there yet. There's still some bullshit going on. We're still in that. It's kind of cold.
It can still get cold and it'll get rainy on you.
Oh yeah. Big rain. Well, I think we might be a little post spring rain. I feel like that's more of like all April, early May vibes. Now we're in the middle of May, and that's when it's before the summer rain, but post spring rain, that kind of 2-week period you get. So it's kind of nice because like once like mid-June happens, then you get those afternoon rains, which is like that's a whole other thing.
No good. So yeah, we're back. Oh, speaking about getting noticed, just really quick, this is a little anecdote here. Okay. So I'm at this bookstore with Shelby. This is a couple weeks ago, and I don't think I told you. I'm at this bookstore. I'm in the anime section or in the manga section of this bookstore. And this guy, 50s, khaki pants, brown belt, like blue shirt, unbuttoned but tucked. Okay, unbuttoned a couple of top buttons.
I like that. I've been
Okay.
doing that lately.
All right, he's got them tucked. He sees me just staring at the manga, and he comes over. He's a close talker. He's talking with his breath, and he's got weird eyes. I don't know how to explain it, but he's like scanning me as a human, like up and down, like giving me a look.
He's giving you the up down.
He's giving me the up down. And then he starts like chatting me up about my interest in manga. And then he starts going into this whole thing. At first, I'm like, this guy's like hitting on me. He's like patrolling, he's like this guy in his 40s, his 50s. He's out on the prowl on a Saturday in the afternoon at this bookshop. And honestly, the right environment, I could see that being a place to pick somebody up because,
Sure.
you know, it's casual, right? Okay, fine.
It's like the grocery store, kind of.
That being said, not about it because he was close. Again, he's a close talker. Okay. And I'm sitting there. Don't be close. Okay. Mind the distance. You need that healthy distance. Turns out he wasn't hitting on me. He was, in fact, trying to recruit me for some sort of like business venture. He's like, so what do you do? And I don't like to tell people what I do. And I was like, geez, it's always something, you know? It was like this one time, Shelby and I were at this Target, or no, it was a Target as IKEA. This couple comes up to us and they're like being real nice, too nice. They're being way too nice. You know how people are too nice sometimes right off the rip?
You got to be suspicious when it's too nice.
If someone's just coming up and you're like looking at IKEA furniture and they're like, that's a really great couch. You should get that couch. It was way too much. Okay.
Yeah. You got to back off. Red flags.
And then in my mind, again, I jump. I'm like, they want us to do an orgy or a foursome or something.
Yeah.
And
Always.
it was worse. They wanted us to do an MLM with us or with them, a pyramid scheme, multi-level marketing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's
That's
always
like,
something.
One time me and Becca were at a wedding last summer and down on the Jersey Shore, like kind of like 2.5 hours deep into Jersey Shore. And we're on the boardwalk, you know, that famous Jersey boardwalk at the beach.
Sure. Yeah.
We're there and we wanted to get a picture on the boardwalk because like the Ferris wheel is like nice, you know, we're in our wedding stuff. We're at the reception's happening. We're like, let's go get a picture on the boardwalk. It was like nice out. And we're looking for someone to take a picture of us. And I always think, listen, I am not the guy that talks broadly about any gender. But when it comes to taking a picture in public, I always pick a woman because I'm like, they're probably less likely to steal my phone.
Sure.
Like, just listen. It is what it is. It's not. I'm not trying to be. I don't think it's sexist. You know, it's pro woman. Like this is a pro woman take. And so there's no women though. There's like no women on the boardwalk. It's just all dudes. So eventually I'm like, and I see some teenagers. I'm like, teenagers. They're like what? They're like these like white kids,
like
but they're like capital W white, like, you know what I mean? They got like boat shoes on and like, they just look like goody two shoes. It doesn't even matter that they're white. They just look like goody two shoes kids. And I was like, bingo. That's my move right there. So I give it to those kids and I go, hey, can you take a picture of us? And they're like, sure. And they take a couple pictures and they do this way and they do this way and it's all good. And then he hands the phone back and he was like, one of the kids was like, so what are you guys up to? And we were like, sorry, your cat is jumping up and down.
She's about to get kicked out of this room. Hey, relax. Hold on. I got to get her out of here.
No.
You finish.
It's good.
All right.
So the kid goes, so what are you guys up to? Which is just like a weird, you're like, come on, man. Like, just take the picture and get out of here, you know?
Yeah.
So he goes, what are you guys up to? But this is one of those times where we had an answer. We're like, because we're dressed up. I'm in a suit. She's in a fancy dress. So maybe it makes sense to ask, like, what are you guys doing? So we go, well, we're at a wedding. There's a reception down over at one of the hotel, whatever things. And the kid was like, oh, cool. So, and then he does I was wondering if you guys were interested in hearing about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. They were JC guys. What are the odds of that? He hit me with can I speak to you for a minute about the Lord and Savior? I was like, I knew it was too good to be true.
Oh, it's too good to be true. Damn.
And now it makes sense why I said they were white, because it was like that, you know, those like white Christians that like be doing that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That was my whole childhood, bro. Yeah. I used to be those kids standing around preaching to people.
Yeah. So it was one of those, and then we were like, oh no, like there's no good way to get out of that other than just be like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Just like take your phone back and just like, okay, see you later.
You're like, actually, just steal my phone.
Yeah. Just come on, man. Help.
I don't even want those photos.
Yeah. So it is one of those things. You got to watch out for the too nice people or the people that just talk to you. Because, you know, what was the guy's scheme though?
He was starting up a new, anyone who's starting something up in finance. I'm always like, okay, now you're boring and you have a bad idea. have one or the other, be boring and a good idea, or be super awesome and have,
A bad
a
idea.
bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
But-
that. It's like that WeWork guy. You know,
Sure. Yeah.
bad idea, but he was like,
He had that energy.
yeah.
And realistically, the WeWork thing is a cool idea. Like that in theory is cool. But how you make money from renting office space in cities where office space is so goddamn expensive, I don't know how you do that. So, well, and they didn't. So,
Yeah.
but
So
yeah,
it's like a
anyways,
finance thing.
yeah, it was like fine. Yeah, he was like, and no one's well, okay, this is a generalization, but you don't see a lot of people out here in Arizona doing like startup business where they're like, that's a topic of conversation. In fact, moved out here with the thought I won't have to talk about work when I'm not at work, which was a huge plus to me.
Yeah.
Because in Bay Area, New York, that's all people talk about is work.
Yeah.
their
That's
whole
like me on a
personality.
first. That's like me on a first date.
Oh,
Did we ever tell that story about how I went on a first date with this girl and I just kept asking her about work?
no, but you should tell that story.
Well, that's the whole story. Is I went on this first date. No, I think it was was that a second date? No, was that a third date?
The way I remember it,
It was a second date, right? The first date went well. Second
Yeah,
date went bad.
the first date went well. You got the kiss, if I remember right.
Yeah.
You got a little smooch. And
Yeah.
then the second date, a couple of days later, again, just for my recollection, you were just like Mr. Work. You were like,
It's all in on work.
my
well,
guy,
here's the thing.
my
Here's the
guy
thing.
hates work. Couldn't stop talking about it on a date.
This person I went on a date with, first of all, in my defense, they showed up like maybe a half hour late, very late. They were late.
No
to the date.
text.
They texted. They said they were going to be late. But
Well, what can you
still,
do about a text?
Yeah, well, whatever.
All
But
right.
the point is, they were late, so they came in, and they also came in with like, I'm gonna say, this is the generalizations one here, but like, I must have come across as a jerk, but they walked into the bar and they went like, like that, like they literally like walked through the door with like, I'm upset energy,
Yeah.
and I didn't say that, but I said, hey, how's it like? And they were also late. So I was like, is everything okay? I like opened with that,
Mm.
And then they were like, oh, I just got off work. And it was like a whole thing. So they brought up work first. But then because we didn't really talk about work on the first date, I was like, well, what do you do? Like ignoring the hint of like, hey, I don't want to talk about work. So I just
Sure.
I kept going all in on work. It was like,
Yeah.
and then correct me if I'm wrong here, but didn't she tell your wife that all I did was talk about work on the date?
Yeah. It's like,
Amazing. This was
Casey-
a setup, by the way. This was like an Alex and his wife set me up with a friend of hers, and it was no good.
she was like, yeah, Casey couldn't stop talking about work. I think that guy loves it. And
He
I
loves
was
it.
like, you were right.
He loves it. That's right. Yeah. First
Um,
day went good though. And I did that classic thing on the date. This is a classic Casey first date question. You guys could use this for all the single people out there. I always ask people if they've ever seen a ghost. It's like a go-to. That was always my go-to. I wouldn't start with that. It would be like about an hour into the date. Maybe you have like the first round of drinks.
Just a little
that kind of-
conversation thing.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, because I think it's a plus because it's either way you get a good story. It's
Yeah.
one is that they haven't seen a ghost, and then you get to find out why because people are with ghosts, people are either they're like, yes, and it changed my life, or they're like, why would you ask me that? What do you believe in ghosts? What are you nuts? Like they give you that.
Yeah.
and It's a good
Yeah.
read.
Sure.
Because like, I get it. The whole, like, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in the afterlife, blah, 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 whatever. But if you give me bad vibes from that, that's a good read for me. It tells me that you're not willing to have fun, like let's be fun here,
Oh, wait, you can't talk about ghosts?
Yeah. It's kind of like it's a fun question. And I remember I asked this person on the first day if they had ever seen a ghost, and they did see a ghost. Or they
Oh,
thought they did. They were at a thing and there was like, or maybe it was their friend. I shouldn't be talking about them, but whatever.
yeah.
So we didn't talk about work on that first date because we talked about
That's probably
ghosts.
why it went so well.
Yeah, don't talk about work on a first date. But write in. This is the show at 69@gmail.com. Tell us about your worst first date you ever went on. Did you talk about work the whole time? Because let's see if you can top that.
And how did it go? Yeah. Also, while we're doing plugs really quick, I just want to mention, listener and good friend of the cast, Claudio, does a weekly music newsletter every Tuesday. It goes out.
Run it back. And he just passed number 100. 100 newsletters, which is a huge milestone and accomplishment for him. Go check it out. Runitback.co. Great kind of breakdowns on songs, very easy to digest, a little, like personal snippet about him and his experience, with music. Go check it out. It's a great time. Runitback.co. Just wanted to plug it out because, again, today's his 100th newsletter that went out, which is huge. Congrats, Claudio. I get it every week. It's great. Sign up for the newsletter. It's awesome. Goes to your promotions folder, so make sure you check that. So you got to see it, but and you can send it to your direct folder. But yeah, check that out. Big C. And write in. This is the show 69@gmail.com. Sign up for his thing and email us about a terrible first date you went on. Yeah. And let's see if you can top any of mine. I spilled a drink on a person twice. That's probably my worst for a date. I told you about that one, right? I don't know. Wait, you spilled two separate people, two separate drinks on the first date? No, or just one person. Oh, okay. I spilled 2 drinks on them. Oh, hell yeah. Different times. Nice. I got up and I bumped the table because New York, it's all these small fucking bars, Yeah. And like you said, I got these big knees, I'm a skinny guy, but I got fucking fat knees. Big knees. So I got up and I bumped the table and it made her drink like wiggle and it was full and it did that thing where it kind of like spilled splashed off out the table. Yeah. And then I went to go get us a second round. And when I sat down, I put one down and that one just like something bumped it and it just fell. Oh my God. Yeah, twice. And that was one where I was like, when that happened, I was like, we don't need to we can wrap this up. This is not going. This is not going good. Like, come on. So, man. But anyways, write in. This is the show 69@gmail.com. We got to talk about your casino. Alex went to the casino. He won $5,000. I didn't win $5,000. Okay. All right. So the whole premise here. First of all, hold on. Yeah. Before you say this, I'm so proud of you. Alex, he's home for a month. This guy, he always talks about how he's an at-home guy. He has trouble going out. This guy goes to a casino till 7 a.m. I'm so proud. What a change in behavior. This is great. I'm really trying, bro. Here's the real thing. I go outside every day for 30 minutes and I sit in the sun just to get a little tan, do a little sun soak, hang out. But I'm also trying to go to the gym, 3-4 times a week if my schedule permits. So making it a priority to go out. And this was a part of that priority of just like, you know what? People show up for me all the time. I got to show up for my people also. Really being aware of that, right? Because people don't tell you right off the rip, but you quit showing up for them, they start to hate you a little, or at least you start pissing them off, especially family, bro. Family, you got to show up for family. So the whole premise here is my uncle recently turned 47 years old, and it was on, it was on Friday. So he's like, let's meet up. Let's go to this bar that he always goes to. Every first Friday of the month, they do a burlesque show. It's like local burlesque dancers, and there's a different theme every month. We go every month. Like him, Shelby, myself, and him go every month. And so he was like, we'll start off there, and then we'll just kind of see where the night takes us. So we go down. This is a bar called the Surly Wench here in Tucson. Great name for a bar. Great bar, and it feels like what it sounds like, which is like this sort of like. Yeah, like divey, but really cool, kind of like turn of the century, very kind of gothic, high ceilings. I'm picturing those those like everybody like those robe, like, but they hang from the ceilings. There's like long, you know what I'm talking about, like curtains. You don't know what I'm talking about. There's like everything. Never mind. Keep going. No. Tell me now. I'm curious. Maybe they got them. It's like in burlesque show, like, somebody will be like spinning in them. Like they're like these long, you know what I'm talking about? I know what you're talking about. Yeah. They don't have that, but I have seen those. But I picture
Uh,
that vibe. When I hear the Surly Witch, I'm like, I picture like everything's very flowy and gothic and candles
Yeah.
with the wax. You know,
There you
the
go.
big the wax.
Now
strip?
you're there. Now
All
you're
right,
there.
I'm getting there.
Yeah,
I'm getting
yeah.
there. Okay.
The taxidermy. It's yeah. The big black booths, with like
Red
the long
lights.
table. Yes,
Okay,
100%.
all right.
Yeah. So anyway, so we go there.
I'm gonna cut out the robe part. I'm gonna cut out the curtains part.
You always say you're gonna cut it out. You never cut out anything. You've never
No.
cut anything out before.
I'll never do it.
So we go there. And I volunteer as DD so that he can, hang out. It's his birthday, right? It's like someone's got a DD.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be him. It ends up being him. Like nobody really drinks this whole night, which is actually kind of funny. But we go to the bar. We hang out there. We watch the burlesque show. My uncle is like very well known at this spot. Like he goes there, he walks in, everyone's like, "Yo, what's up?" And like sees him, comes running over. It's like that type of
It's
spot
like
for him.
Cheers.
Yeah. It's very like Cheers, but if everyone was a goth at Cheers, that's like 80s goth, 90s goth. Like
That'd be a fun premise for a sketch. Cheers, but it's a goth bar. That'd be fun.
yeah, that would be fun.
Where everybody
Um,
knows your name and also hates themselves.
yeah,
Like one of those.
I like it. So we go watch the burlesque show. I have like a beer, midnight rolls around and he's like, "All right, now let's go to the casino."
Yo, I love it.
And there's
I
two
love it.
casinos in town. And we just go to the one. It doesn't matter which one it was, but we go to this casino. We get there. So we leave the bar like 12:30. We get there like 1:15. And we're there until 4 a.m.
I
Okay.
love it. What's the name of the casino? You got to tell me the casino.
The name of the casino that we went to was Desert Diamond Casino.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's a great name for a casino. You went from the Surly Witch to the Desert Diamond. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Good times. Good
It's
times.
Good stuff.
So they recently opened up a roulette table and a craps table there. Not something that they've had before. My uncle is an absolute animal at craps. Every time I once watched him win like so much money at the craps table that he had to claim it on his taxes. It was like
What?
thousands and thousands. It was like $7,000-$8,000 that he won at the crap table.
Wow.
Yeah. So he goes, he's playing and he's making money. To cut to the end, I think he walked out with like $600 up. He started with like 125 and ended up winning like $600.
Gee whiz. God. Gambling
And he was,
is awesome.
he was rolling hot too. I mean, like roll after roll, it was just crazy. He would like, he would bet like oh my God, what's it called, bro? It's like it's like a horse high yo or something like that. I can't remember what it's called on the craps table, but
I've never played. I don't know.
he would bet on that and then like boom, he would get it. And you only get one chance to nail that and then they take your money. So you can put like $10 on it and then if you miss it that roll, they take the $10, right? It's like just that shot. I'm out of focus. Okay, there we go. So he's hitting, he's doing great. I have $100 to play with. I go over to the Texas Hold'em table where it's
love
like, there's like a dealer and you're essentially like playing against the dealer. You're trying to beat the dealer at this setup. You're not playing, you're kind of playing against each other, but not really. Like you can show them your cards. It doesn't matter. Right. You're just trying to beat the dealer. So, I end up from that 100, I end up making off that like another 100. So I'm up 100 total, 200 at this point.
From
okay?
poker.
From poker, from Texas Hold'em.
What hand did you win on? Did you have like a moment where you put something down and it beat the dealer or it beat other people's hand? How much money did you put in? Come on, give me something here.
Well,
I'm addicted to poker.
so the minimum was like a $10. So you had to start $10, but then you also have
Those
to
were the
bet.
blinds.
Yeah. So you had to, the buy-in. So the buy-in's 10.
Okay.
The blind has to match the buy-in, and then you can also do what's it called? There's like another like triangle symbol on the table. I can't remember what it's called, but you can play that in addition to those two plays. So with that math, you got $20 on the table, but then let's say that you got a really good hand, right? We're all kind of, doing the rounds. You get a really good hand. You have to bet an additional $10 on the play. So you have to play. So you're up $15 every time you do, like minimum. Okay.
Right.
So there was no like magnificent, like, holy shit, I just like knocked it out. It was just like small little wins here, there. Like I'd get like a pair, but just like a high one, right? I think the highest I got was like a flush, which is like a pretty big moment for the table.
That's huge. A flush
Yeah.
is big.
Yeah.
How many players were sitting at the table?
Dude, it was driving me crazy. People were like, because we're in Tucson, people are playing with like $20 and then they're like, shit, I'm out. And then they leave. Like they're not coming in with like $200-$300 the way that you'd see it like Vegas. And then they're there for a minute. They would come up, they would play. But if you ever played at like a casino setup like that, not, like in a room with people, it like messes up the rotation of the cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's like that weird superstition as they're coming out of the machine of like, if you're sitting to my right, it means you're going to get the cards before me.
Right.
And if you move, now I'm getting your cards.
Yeah.
And
it's
people were getting up and getting down and moving. This guy at the craps table, okay? He walks up. So, like the craps table is like a oval kind of thing, right? Like a really long oval, okay?
Uh-huh.
Ish. And so he walks up to the middle of the oval and then he buys in to roll, but it's not his turn yet because you go in like a clockwise circle. And then when you're out, it's the next person. So he starts at the middle, which means that by this roll, he would be last, but he moves after the buy-in to like the other side of the table. So he's first after like that roll. Dude, the whole table
seem legal.
It like the dealer was like cool with it. And I end up finding out because I'm nosy. The guy left the craps table. So the dealer ends up letting him roll. Okay. He's rolling. And then we leave, we go play Texas Hold'em. We come back. He had left. And then right before they shut down the tables at 4, he came back just to kind of see like what the activity was. He didn't end up buying in. I look at his hand. He's got a bunch of chips in his hand. Dude, the guy had like $3,000. Yeah, it was like $500 chip, $500 chip, $500 chip. It was like nuts. I was like, that's probably why they let him move, is because he probably like, in my mind, he probably comes here all the time.
He's probably working the casino.
They knew him by name. So like, God only knows, like, he probably just got some but my uncle, okay, he's big. He's like 600. He's like, 600. He's 6 foot. He's like 6'6" and like 340 pounds. Okay. He's like a big dude. And so when he's like mad, and he's normally not mad, he's like the nicest guy in the world. But when he's mad, it's like people shut up when he's upset, he starts like calling this guy out, starts like getting at the guy because my uncle's up. Okay. My uncle's like doing pretty well. Right. He starts like confronting the guy of like, why did you move and all this stuff? It was a whole thing. He also got mad at the Texas Hold'em gal. It's wild.
Oh, wow.
Well, so the thing about the dealers is that like they'll help you and like tell you what you should do based on like the odds, like because they don't care. And if anything, you'll tip them. So it's better for them. My sister, who was also with us, she had a pretty decent hand, but it like we were moving kind of fast because there were 2 other people at the table. And the dealer who was coaching her told her to like scrap her hand. And my uncle was like, wait. And then looked at the cards. It was like, hold on, she's got this, I can't remember what she had, but she had like a pretty good hand. And he got like so upset with her, but it was because it was like, hey, like you're having this kid throw away like $15-$20 and she's like trying to learn from you, Right. So anyways, wild. So I make like $100 off the slot machine or off the Texas Hold'em table. And then I take a random 20 and I just feed it into a slot because I'm sitting there. My uncle's playing craps again. I'm just kind of bored. I'm spamming through a penny slot. Boom. I make like $300 off this slot machine.
Off the penny slot?
Off the penny slots, dude. Wow. It was like, you should have heard it. That thing was vibrating. That machine was going so crazy. Well, because they make it
sevens?
so.
Did you get 3 red 7s?
I can't remember what it was. Dude, they have like such like weird slot machines where there's like panda bears and like, kissy emojis and like, it's wild. But so I end up winning. And of course, like the graphics on these slot machines are so like visually stimulating that you're like, overloaded with excitement when you win, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my God, dude. So we leave the casino at 4 a.m. We go back to my uncle's. It's like 5. I don't get home until like 5:30 or 6. But I'm just like buzzing off of this
Bet.
high of like winning and like and at this point, again, like we didn't really drink. I had like a beer at the casino over like, 3 hours or something. But so I don't even go to bed until like 7 or 8. I'm just like flying high. And then from that point on, the whole weekend was just chalked. I couldn't get back into a rhythm. I got that like nausea from when you don't sleep right. You know what I'm talking
Sure.
about?
Yeah.
It was brutal, but it was worth it. It was fun as hell.
That's amazing, man. To go up 300 off a penny slot. That's so on my end of the spectrum, I get a text from Alex at literally 9 in the morning, my time. And it's just a fistful of chips that he's holding. And he's like, I just fucking hit the big time, bro. And I text him back and I'm like, it's 9 a.m. I was like, it's 6 a.m. there. What is happening? And you were like, I just got home at 7 a.m. I don't know. I've been partying all night. Oh man, that's amazing, man. Casinos are the fucking best. They really
So much fun.
They really are either the best or the worst. There's no in between, you know?
Yeah. No, for
Never
sure.
have- I mean, that's what they say in the card counter. Bet small, lose small. But my man's out here, $20, penny slot, wins 300. That's how you bet small, win big. Sometimes it happens.
On the flip side of that, because I was at that slot machine, like I was up like 350 actually. Like I won, I netted out 350, but then I spent some of that. So like 300, I was like, okay, I won 350. I'll play down to 300. If I lose anything to 300, then I'm out. Like I'm not going to lose more than that, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, slot machines are weird. It's like you lose a couple bucks, you win a couple bucks, you lose a couple bucks, you win a couple bucks. This lady next to me at the slot, it's like the same set of slot machines, but it's like a different machine. She's sitting there, dude. She took out hundreds. Okay.
Oh.
She fans out hundreds and just fed in like $700 into the slot machine. And I was like, by the time I left that, okay, because you can see how much money they have in like the little corner of the screen. By the time I left my slot machine, she was at like 250.
Oof. It's tough.
And you hate to see that. That's tough.
Well, that's the best and the worst, It's the old ladies just throwing their money away on oxygen tanks, just
that's
playing
literally
games.
that is like literally what it was.
Yeah.
It was pretty tough sight.
That's why if I went to a casino, like we used to have a bit in 2020, winter of 2021, when me and my buddies would play poker in kind of the like small group, because back then we had no vaccines or anything.
Yeah.
And we used to be like, when we get the vaccines, we're all going to go to Atlantic City. We never did. But I remember thinking, if I go to Atlantic City, I wouldn't play like true betting games. I would just play poker, because I feel like I could at least have some control, even though you really don't have control, but just like a little bit,
Yeah.
It's still a game. It's not just like, the slots in the what's it called? Like, what's the one where you throw the dice? What's that? Is that craps?
That's craps.
Craps, or what's it called? The roulette, where you just roll it around
with the
I'm
ball,
like,
and you had to guess
those
the
are
color.
just odds, those are really that's just true gambling. So I was like, I would at least just try and play poker, but I know I would play everything.
Yeah.
And I know that, it's too intoxicating. You can't, there's no windows, there's no clocks. You don't know what time it is. It's crazy.
Mm-mm. And like the ceilings are low.
Yeah. People smoking inside.
The best.
Were they?
No, not here. No.
Oh, okay. Because they be doing it in, in Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, bro. The big smoke.
That's the best part. Like,
Yeah.
truly, like, that's why I loved my bachelor party, was because when we went to Vegas,
Smoking. But here's the thing. Let me ask you this about smoking inside.
yeah,
I can only handle like a little bit of being around smoking inside before I'm like, because there was a bar in Brooklyn where they used to do comedy shows that for some reason they let you smoke inside. I don't know how they got away with it,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you, you be in there for like an hour and you're like, this is actually gross. This is because you know what it is? It's not one person smoking inside. It's not like me and you smoking inside with each other.
Nah.
It's everybody smoking inside. And it's like, you know, back in the day when you go to a Friendlies and you accidentally say smoking section instead of the non-smoking, you're like, it's just like you can't even see anybody,
Yeah.
you know,
And I hear you.
but you love it.
But I love smoking, dude.
But you don't smoke anymore though. Were you vaping in the casino?
No. You can't vape in there. You can't vape in there.
You can't vape, you can't smoke.
Mm-mm.
What type of casino is this?
I don't know, but we got free drinks, which I thought was interesting because I thought that
Free
was just a
drinks?
Vegas thing. In Vegas, if you're gambling, you could be sitting in a slot machine and a waitress or a waiter will come up to you and they'll like serve you alcohol for free.
Well, that's that great scene from Hard Eight, the Paul Thomas Anderson film, where he's teaching him how to like run the gambit, and then they give him a free drink and he's drinking it. And then Philip Baker Hall goes up to John C. Reilly and he goes, "What do you think you're doing?" And he was like, "They gave it to me. It's free." And he goes, "Don't drink," because you know that's how you bet sloppy and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
It's a ploy to get you to, you know, spend
Get you
more money.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Well, yeah. I mean, how much are they spending on a Bud Light? You know, giving that to me for free. They're fine.
but they're winning money if they get you drunk, and then you're like,
Exactly.
"Oh, just one more end," you know, or
Exactly.
whatever. Yeah.
So like the beer is the least of their expense, you know,
Yeah.
their whole thing is to keep me there. So
up 350, but you ended up. How much did you walk away? Did you break even or did you win money?
oh no, I won money. Yeah. I
okay.
walked in. The $100, by the way, was from my uncle. He gave me $100 to play. with.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
He was like, I just want you to hang out. You know, I'll give you $100 and you can just kind of, you know, so he's funding his birthday party essentially. And he's not drinking or like party. It was like, it was wild, but he wanted to gamble. So I was like, let's go, you know?
You got 100. And so what did you walk away with? What was the final earnings?
So the total that I walked away with was like 4 and change. It was like 4.
That's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty solid, bro. I
Yeah.
want $400, bro. Give me $400.
All
I'll
right.
double it tonight. I'll go to Atlantic City.
Yeah.
I'll hop on a bus. I'll double that shit.
Here's the thing. When I come out to visit, okay.
There we
When
go.
I come out
like
to
that
visit.
language.
Yeah. I was like, if that doesn't make sense. When I come out to visit,
We're going
there
to
is a
Atlantic City.
100% chance we're going to Atlantic City. We have to.
Bro, if I hit up my neighbor Brad, he would legitimately go. Like if you came here and we're like, and I texted him, it's like, "Hey, my buddy Alex is in town. We want to go to Atlantic City." He'd be like, "Hop on the sissy seat of the motorcycle. Let's hit it. Let's hit the road."
Because I have been to the majority of like the major casinos in Vegas.
Atlantic
And,
City
like-
stinks, by the way. You better tamper those expectations.
But there's just something about it because there's the scene from Rounders
It's
when
the
they're
Rounders
driving up
scene.
to
It's
it,
the
you know?
Rounders scene.
And I'm like, I want that shit.
Fuck it. Let's play some cards.
Yeah.
That's the scene we need to relive. We need to remember it. Well,
Yeah.
how about this? Speaking of that, transition. I went to Boston this last weekend. Speaking
Yeah,
of
you-
reliving movie scenes, I
Yeah.
basically lived Goodwill Hunting. I went to Boston, and I've been to Boston. It's the city I've been to the most, other than New York. I've been to Boston at least over 10 times in my life, 15 times. I've been there a lot because I've done comedy there a bunch in my older 20s years. The last time I was there was January of 2020. I did a weekend of shows opening for my friend, and I haven't been since then, though. And bro, can I tell you, Boston,
Tell me.
I got back to New York. I'm like, New York sucks.
Yeah.
Boston is the greatest city in America. It's not even
Yeah.
close. It's like
Yeah.
you go to it and you're like, I have lived in New York for 7.5 years, coming up on 8 years. I am a New Yorker at this point.
Yeah.
Nobody could say like I'm not. I've lived in all different boroughs. I've done comedy here. I've been in all different parts of the city.
You're a New
I am
Yorker.
a capital N New Yorker. I didn't like saying capital N because it just seemed a little weird to say that.
I got you.
But so it's not one of those things where I've like lived in New York for 1 year and then I'm like, it's still the greatest. No, I have experienced its highs and lows, and I have never lived in Boston, but I'll tell you, it's one of those things. My girlfriend had never been as an adult, And by the end of the weekend, she was like, "This is the greatest city I've ever been to."
I was
like,
gonna ask. I was gonna ask what she thought about it.
She loved it. She absolutely loved it. She was like, "It's so small," which is really an underrated trait in a city. In a major city, it's underrated to be small, because when you're small, you can feel like you can handle it. You know, like I couldn't imagine coming to New York for the first time, like visiting New York as like a 22-year-old or a 20-year-old going to college. Like, can you imagine? Bro,
yes.
Boston is the size of Queens. Like, it's like just Queens is all of Boston, basically.
Yeah.
So imagine how big New York and intimidating. Dude, Boston, so small, amazing city. It's got cobblestone streets in the north end. You go to Beacon Hill on the other end. It's like Park Slope on cocaine, because it's even nicer, and there's trees, and the Charles River isn't as polluted as the fucking East River in New York. And you can see Harvard, and you can see MIT. We walked on Cambridge Street all the way down Longfellow Bridge. We went to the Harvard Bridge. We went up top. We walked the whole city in like 5 hours. We went everywhere on Saturday morning. We woke up on Saturday morning. We got breakfast at a breakfast spot down by our hotel, and then we walked the entire city. I took her down to Cambridge Street. Like I said, we walked along the Charles River. We went and we saw the swan boats. We went to the Boston Commons. It's so small, but it is, dude, we walked home from going to visit somebody on Saturday night, and we were heading to the North End to go pick up Mike's Pastries, this famous place in the North End, after we got clam chowder at Union Oyster, which is it was an old sailboat that they turned into a restaurant that's on the water.
Awesome.
In the North End. Amazing. Best clam chowder. They serve it with cornbread. So good. Go there if you ever visit Boston. Union Oyster, incredible. We end up walking back from Beacon Hill, which is like towards the bottom of the city limits, not like Southie. Southie is next to the North End. If you go the other way, that's where I was doing shows the last time I went, and that's where a lot of comedy shows are, because it's kind of like Southie now. Southie and Goodwill Hunting was like rough and tumble, because it's all very neighborhoody. Now Southie's like Bushwick. It's where all the hipsters live. It's hilarious. You go there and it's just a bunch of fucking kids in like big t-shirts and baggy jeans. It's hilarious.
Smoking American spirits or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then every once in a while you see a guy driving out of the Stop and Shop with the Dunkin' Donuts coffee and the fucking hat pulled down. You're like, I don't want to mess with that guy. Yeah. So we end up walking through the Boston Commons at 9 p.m. And I live in New York, bro. This city is overrun by crazy people. Post-pandemic, I always talk about it. It's insane. It's scary, you know? And so I was like nervous walking through the Boston Commons, because I have that reflex of like, you know, I'm not going to walk through Central Park at night. I wouldn't walk through a park in Queens at night. No way.
Right. Yeah, no way.
Bro, we walk through it. I fucking see Mark Zuckerberg running by, like kids that look like that, going on night jogs with Emerson t-shirts. I see old white couples holding arms, walking through. I did a bit for Becca. I took my phone out and I played the music from The Social Network as a bit.
Yeah.
Because it was like, and she was like, you know, honestly, it legitimately feels like that. It feels like, because Boston is an underrated college town. There's 19,000 colleges there. So it's just academic people and like fucking towny people that are from the city, and just, magnificent. I can't wait to go back. You got to go. Me and you got to go to Boston, bro. That would be a hell of a trip. I could take you all over. It would be so fun.
Well, that's the thing, is we go to Atlantic City, but then we cool off in Boston, you know?
We go up to Boston. We kind of realize that we lost all our money.
Yeah.
Both get jobs at the Stop and Shop down in South.
Yeah. And then we just stay in Boston.
And we just stay. We live there. We start a new life. But I got to talk about this. This is the one story. So I've never been to Fenway Park before. Been to Boston 1,000 times. Never been to Fenway. Famous baseball stadium. We go to Fenway on Friday night. We get into the city around 4. We take the Amtrak up. Nice train ride. No delays. Too good to be true. Great. Get to the hotel. Great hotel room. We take a nap, which was key. The nap was big. The game started at 7. We napped from like 4 till 7. It was great. I came to the hotel. Harry Potter was on cable, bro. Hotel cable hits way different.
There's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it, right?
I'll watch Aliens all the way through for no reason, dude.
There's
on TNT.
There's something about a hotel. I got cable. I got your DirecTV login. I got the games on right now. But for some reason, TBS was showing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and we were like, "This is great." Put it
Just
on.
what I need.
Big nap. We go to Fenway. Fenway, best stadium I've ever been to. There's not a bad seat in the house because there's fucking, it's like a small town stadium. It's in the city. It's like in it, City Field is way out in Queens. Yankee Stadium is in the Bronx. No, this is in the city, bro. You can walk there. There's all these bars and restaurants called like the Outfield and shit like that around.
Yeah, always, bro. It like within stone's throw of any baseball field, there's a place called the Outfield. There's always a bar called the Outfield. Always.
It's great. We get in there. We got good seats. I sent you some pictures. How about this? This whole trip was for my 30th birthday. Becca donated to the Red Sox. If you donate, they put your name up on the big board.
Oh,
shit. Happy 30th birthday from the Red Sox, Casey. I got a birthday wish from the Red Sox.
Oh, my God.
The Red Sox.
I didn't know about that. That's amazing.
I got to send you the video. I'll send you the video. So, and I didn't know it was coming. So how about this? We get the seats, and because the Fenway is so old, they got these big pillars that are in the grandstands. So there's certain areas where you can't really see.
You got to peek around them
to see home plate and stuff. And so where our actual seats were, I didn't have a good view of home plate. But if we moved like 3 seats down, that pillar moved out of the way. I had a perfect view of home plate. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
But when I asked Becca, I was like, can we move so I can see home plate? This is right when we get there. And apparently the birthday message was only showing in between innings 1 through 3. We moved 3 seats down. There's another pillar blocking the big board. And so Becca didn't want to ruin the surprise, but she was like, do you mind if we move back to the other seats? And I didn't know why. I was like, what are you talking about? We got a great view of home plate. This is great.
Yeah.
So we end up moving down. She surprised me with a thing, but I got to tell this is great. This is the best. So Fenway is so small, and the Red Sox stink this season. They suck. They lost so bad. They played terrible, horrible game, but a lot of fun. So the thing about Fenway is it's not like City Field where like you got to stay in your seats. There's ushers blocking you off from going down. So as the game goes on, if seats are empty, you can just go. You can just walk right down to the fucking dugout to the field. It's nuts.
Wow.
So we start moving down. We get better seats, whatever. But in the beginning of the game, there was no one behind us in our original seats. Or no, we moved down a little bit and there was no one behind us. But everybody starts moving down because seats are open. People are leaving, blah, blah, blah. These high school kids, they must have been like 16 years old. They end up sitting like 2 rows behind us. So like right behind us in the grandstand. These kids are like born and raised. I don't know if they're from Boston, but they are from the North Shore if they're not, because they had the thickest Boston accents I've ever heard in my life. They are hammered, bro. They are fucking hammered. They look like Boston kids. They look like not hipster kids. These are like kids with baggy jeans that are not cool. You know what I mean? They're wearing old ratty Red Sox t-shirts. These are Southie kids. These are kids from Southie, but they're in high school. They're hammered. They got that hammered gravel voice. You know when you're so drunk that your voice gets gravelly?
I sure do.
So at one point they're talking and one kid's like, he's like, hey, Sean. One of the kids' names was Sean and the other kid's name was Donnie. It was crazy. I couldn't believe that this was happening. And he goes, hey, Sean, apparently my mom isn't going to be home tonight. We should all go back to my house and get hammered at my mom's house. We'll get fucking ripped, dude. We'll get some Trulies. We got Trulies here. I'm having a great time at the game. And then Donnie like chimes in. He's like, what, you guys want to leave early? You're not having a good time? He goes, fuck you, Donnie. I'm having a great time. I'm saying after the game. And then he goes, I swear to God, you can ask Becca. He goes, I got a text from my mom. She said that there's we can hang out at the house tonight, but we got to feed the dog. There's chicken in the fridge, but she says we got to cut it up first, which is like, you know, the fucking bitch making me cut the chicken up, and me and Becca are like, what is going on? This kid's so upset that his mom asked him to cut up chicken for the dog, but he's gonna have his boys go over and wreck the house. I mean, those kids are that house is burned to the ground.
For it. Yeah.
Wherever in Lynn, Massachusetts, wherever those fucking kids live, that fucking house is burned down. So these kids are behind us. I'm dying laughing at everything they're saying. They're cracking me up. I was like, this is why people from Boston are so funny, because they just are funny. You know, they have that like rough and tumble energy. And at one point, there's a White Sox player. That's who they're playing. They're playing the White Sox from Chicago. And there's a player, they show their name up on the board. And there's a guy pitching for the White Sox. His name is like, let me just look it up real quick. Hold on. Because his last name, hold on. I want to get his full name because it's so funny. Okay, so his name is Jake Berger. This is the pitcher for the White Sox. Okay.
Okay.
White Sox pitcher named Jake Berger, or maybe he's the, I think he's the pitcher. So Jake Berger is pitching. He comes out. All the kids are hammered. They're behind us. And one of the kids goes, oh my God, his last name is Berger. Hey, Donnie, he's literally yelling Donnie like that. He goes, hey, Donnie, the guy's last name is Berger. And then all three of them go, where's your burger? Where's your burger? Hey, how's your burger? Do you have a nice burger? They're screaming it at the top of their lungs. They love it. They think it's the funniest thing in the world. At one point, then a guy sitting 2 rows down in front of us, it's like a guy and his 2 friends that are girls. They're also hammered. They're also Boston natives for sure. Because then they join in. They're like, burger, where's your burger? I start yelling it. He starts yelling it. It's fucking so funny. It was just the thick accent to say, where's your burger was so goddamn funny. And I was like, it was that moment where I was like, this is where I'm supposed to live. This is the greatest city in America.
I gotta live here.
Nothing can top this. Hey, Donnie, his name's Burger. Where's your burger? They loved it.
That's incredible, dude. Those kids sound like, even if
nightmares.
You weren't to have described them, that's just who I would have envisioned in Fenway Park, like chilling there, hanging out. Those are the kids. Just absolute, like, causing a ruckus wherever they go.
Just a ball of energy, just flying at you. Just fucking. They probably got in a fight that night. And then the other thing, we got out of Fenway. Apparently, there's all these bars that are also right around this Fenway. It's called like the Fenway Strip or something. Mm-hmm. And apparently, that's where all like young people go out to like party. There's like clubs and shit. Every bar has the longest line, bro. It was wild energy. I'm walking around seeing guys in fucking Celtics t-shirts with gold chains, white guys with red hair who look like me with Jesus pieces walking around fucking, hey, were you waiting in line over there? We got to go over here. And I'm like, this is where the stereotype comes from. I'm like, this is it. All these guys are going to fight tonight. What do you think? You're better than me. It was straight out of that shit. It was crazy. I was so happy we went there. I was like, this is the best, man.
That's
Becca kept doing a bit where she was like, we could get in a fight tonight if we want. I was like, all we have to do is bump into somebody and we will get in a fight. That's how fast it's going to happen.
You should have gotten to a fight. That would have been a great story.
Oh my God. But where's your burger? I had to say, where's your burger? Because that was so fucking funny. It was Sean and Donnie, whoever the other guy's name, probably Bobby, Sean and Donnie. Just fucking, where's your burger?
You think they're brothers or no? No.
I don't know if they were brothers. I think they were friends because they were talking about chicks. They were talking about girls. They're all on Snapchat. They're like, well, she, we could invite her, but she didn't answer my Snapchat. Fucking this fucking floozy, they had like that. And I turned around and I looked at them because I was like, I gotta see these kids. They legitimately are like 16. They're like, they have baby faces. These guys are children. And I was like, I love it. I love it. It's so great. It literally felt like Will Hunting's crew. Like it felt like that. They're all wearing windbreakers and fucking old ratty Red Sox t-shirts. It was great.
That's
so
crazy.
Anyways, best weekend of my life. So fun. Best city in the world. Had a great time. Ate great clam chowder.
Good.
Got to see my nephew who I hadn't seen forever because my brother's wife's parents live in Beacon Hill. They live in Boston. They live in the city. It's crazy. They were up visiting for Mother's Day. Just on the off chance. He didn't know that I was going there that weekend. He found out. He was like, what? You're here? That's crazy. We got to meet up. So saw the nephew. Great time. What else did we do? God, we ate good food. We went out to the North End, which was great. That's where like the rich kids go out. It had like that same energy, but that's where the cobblestone streets are. That's where like rich kids go out.
Yeah.
That's where it's like guys that look like me and like Cape Cod half zips, it's like that energy. So honestly, not a scared guy moment for a weekend. You imagine me in a weekend away at a city, you imagine, there'd be a couple.
Well,
scared guy
Boston's got that
moments.
kind of energy too, though. Like Boston's just like kind of a more low key city in general because there's not the hustle and bustle of 6 million people running through it at any moment.
Yeah, it's not New York.
It's just low key.
I describe it as a small town city. It's a small town city, bro. Boston. That's the reason why all their sports fans are like that. It is just like, it's a vibe. It's like that small town vibe. It's like everyone knows everyone here,
Mhm.
There's a bunch of college kids, but like people that live there, they love it. Like, it's just, oh God.
What's the song that they play at
Sweet Caroline?
Sweet Caroline, yeah.
Oh,
And
bro,
you
dudes-
texted me. You
Yeah,
texted
the
me, and you were
video.
like, "This is a real small town moment right here."
Yeah. Well, did I send you the video of everybody singing it?
Yeah.
If you look in the video, there's the two girls and the guy, they're like walking and they're like to the right of the frame. If you rewatch the video, maybe I'll post it to the Instagram. Those were the guys that joined in on Where's Your Burger. The kids were behind me. They were, and bro, they got up, they had their arms around each other. They're Sweet Caroline, they love it. Bop, bop, bop. Oh, so good. I'm gonna incorporate that into my stand-up joke. I heard someone tell me that.
There you go.
But yeah, great weekend. Alex won $300. I'm hanging out with Donnie, Sean, and Bobby, having a great time eating chowder. It was great, man. I can't wait to go back. You and I should honestly schedule a vacation where we meet in Boston. We get a hotel. We just stay downtown at the same hotel I stayed at, and we just have a fucking weekend in Boston.
That would be awesome. So I've only gone one time, and it was with Shelby. But when we went, Shelby was like, well, and Shelby's been multiple times now for work. But hello, cat. But Shelby like loves the city. Every time she goes, she's like, "We should move there. We should, like she loves it.
You should move there. If you move there, I will move there.
Oh,
100%. No, I am not joking, bro. I'm so close to moving.
You, regardless of what I own a house in Arizona, so it's not as easy. It's not impossible. It's not easy. You should move there regardless.
I know. I'm working on Becca, bro. I'm already planning our fall trip because I just got to keep taking her and show her how magical and not scary it is because New York is so scary. And I'm like, you like this? This is good.
You like it?
There's a good. Well, I did that at the end of the trip. I was like, and also the train station is so small and so nice, bro, where the Amtrak's come in. Oh, it's just the best. But when we were taking the train back, I was like, I gave her that look of like, you like the city, don't you? And she was like, I really do. It's really great. And I was like, I do it.
That's amazing.
It's a great town, small town. So anyways, I'm moving to Boston, taking a lease out.
Good.
It's one of those things. The only bummer is that my whole life is in New York. So if I could convince everyone I know to move to Boston,
Sure.
I convince all my friends. But comedy wise, bro, I'm doing shows with fucking the best comedians in the world in New York. Everybody moves to New York once they become the big fish in their small town. I moved to Boston. All of a sudden, I'm the best comedian in Massachusetts. I mean, come on. I've been in New York for 8 years.
That's the real play is you flip it,
Yeah, I go now, and then they're like, I already have the chops. They're like, this guy's been in New York for 8 years. He's great. And then I become the king of the Boston. I get booked on every show. I'll never do TV, but hey, that's something. I'm not doing TV anyways. I live here. I'm getting on SNL anytime soon.
Sure.
So, anyways, sorry, I was too long, but
no, no, phenomenal. I love Boston. I love stories about Boston, so I'm here for it for sure. And I'm glad it was a good time.
Went to Dunkin'.
The big takeaway for me is that you had a good time because I was, you going on a little vacation. I love you to death. You're my best friend in the whole world. You going on vacation, you might be nervous. You might be this, that, the other thing. So I'm glad it was just like a net good time. Like no.
Well, I'll tell you, I think Boston, it puts me at ease a little bit because it's not an intense city,
Yeah.
It just
there's not so much going on all the time, New York is very just overwhelming on like every level. Like the sounds, the smells, the sights, it's just the whole environment is like very overcharged all the time. Doesn't matter. I mean, you're in Queens and it still happens, so.
Well, it's one of those things where every city now that I visit, I feel like is less than, which is actually the perk of living in New York. I'm like, I can live anywhere because it's that thing. You can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And I'm like, it is kind of true. You go to Boston, you're like, oh, this is a cakewalk.
It's
True. There's
true.
not fucking 19 crazy people running at me on the subway. Dude, I took the subway to Trader Joe's today back home. It's in Queens. It's 3 stops away. It's in Long Island City. It's in my neighborhood. I
Yeah.
have to take the subway 3 stops. The guy, he's got a bag. He's talking to no one, but he's getting aggressive and he's looking for eyes to make eye contact to like channel his I'm crazy energy at.
Somebody
3
look at
stops.
me. Yeah.
3 stops. I mean, come on. It's crazy. You can't go anywhere in this city.
No, it's tough.
Bad stuff.
That's why when I moved to California, it didn't feel jarring really, because it was just like, oh, I like, it's like you said, you did it in New York, you can kind of, make it happen anywhere. If anything, actually, I had like reverse culture shock going from California to Arizona, because being in New York and then being in California, like very like over kind of stimulating places just in different ways, right? There's a lot of traffic in California. There's a lot of like tech and a lot of just a lot of stuff going on in general. Going to Arizona, it was weird at first. I love it. No problem with it. But it was weird to kind of watch the shift of like, okay, like people are a little bit more pro cop here. People are a little, it was just kind of like weird, still trying to navigate that a little bit for me personally, because it's definitely a different vibe, but it's getting better, yeah.
You're not going to find any anti-cop rhetoric on this side of the podcast. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I'm not the socialist you think I am. So,
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Boston people are a little bit more pro cop too. And I'll tell you, happy Patriots Day.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Oh man. But anyways, well, is that an hour? Did we use our hour since we subscribed to it?
I think so. I did not look at the time before, but yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. You want to plug them up?
I'll plug them up. Follow us, email us. This is the show 69@gmail.com. Email us. How about this? We gave a prompt. If you have bad date stories, email us. This is the show 69@gmail.com. We want to hear about it. We want to read the stories. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on it. So email us, follow the podcast. This is the show podcast on Instagram. This is the show 69 on Twitter. This is the show podcast on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the YouTube channel. And the biggest thing, share it with a friend. If you like the podcast, we're word of mouth. Spread it around. Maybe Claudio can give us a little shout out in his newsletter. Since we give him a shout out, Claudio, looking at you. But this is the show, all the things, follow us, do the whole thing. And how about this? Nice Guys Day is next Monday. So we're doing a bonus episode. We're recording it this week. It's going to come out on the day that the movie The Nice Guys came out, which is May 16th, which I believe is next Monday. So next Monday,
May 20th came out May 20th.
May 20th. So next week we have a Nice Guys watch along podcast. Me and Alex are going to watch the movie. We're going to stream it and do a live commentary on it. Come join us. If you've never seen the movie, you're in for a treat. If you have seen the movie, it's always fun to rewatch it with 2 guys who love it, talking about it, cracking jokes. So watch out for the Nice Guys cast. That's coming next week. And you can follow me at Casey McGowan with 2 N's. I have shows this week, but this is Friday and I don't have any shows this weekend. So you already missed my spots. If you want to come, do it. I have a spot on Wednesday.
You missed it.
You missed it. So it's all right because I've been bombing. So it's probably better that you don't.
Oh, come on.
And where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Alaska, AALASKAA. And with that, episode 55 of This Is the Show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, getting your weekend started with the boys here over at This Is the Show. We love hanging out with you and just being that one little, source of escapism to just kind of detach from the insanity of the world. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Alex Webb.
Casey McGowan.
See you later. We love you.
We love you.